vehicle.
Uh-oh.
Tell us a little bit about, Ileana, where this started and the events that unfolded before they hit the freeway.
So we first actually heard about this in the LAPD's jurisdiction. We heard about it in the South LA region of the city of Los Angeles.
You better wake up.
Behind it,
Them boys flying in the sky.
The pursuit because the guy was driving quite recklessly, but the airship actually kept an eye on him for officer safety reasons, and that is when the LA County Sheriff's Department started chasing.
Boom, let me hear you say, well,
on the 91 West. So that's going to bring in
let me hear you say,
well.
Well,
that's going to be the California Highway Patrol. Again, the Y is stolen vehicle. I heard that it was stolen this month in August from the LAPD's Wilshire division. So that's roughly the mid-city area of the city. And
flying,
how many people may be
that's a
in
Kia.
The car, this is, of course, a Kia Soul. So I would assume that it would see at least 4 people. And we did hear that there were possibly multiple occupants inside of the car.
Eliana, you know, you bring up that it's a Kia Soul, and we know that Kia Souls have been one of those vehicles that has been widely problematic in that a lot of thieves are targeting these types of vehicles because of
I thought they updated the chip and did all this bullshit. They still got a problem with this thing. I can't lie though, the new Kias, they look pretty good. You guys seen the new Kias? That shit like lights up. I think the front of the car, the emblem's lighting up. The thing on the side, the little, I don't know, the stepping thing, it comes, opens up, and you can step on the stuff. They're really upgraded, the new ones.
Involving these types of vehicles, but the sad part of it all really is that this vehicle belongs to somebody else. It
belongs to the streets.
To, the rightful owner who is probably watching our pursuit right now, and that's their car. And all they can hope for is that they can get it back in one piece and that nobody gets hurt.
Yes. And so right now we're on the 405, Friday afternoon.
Friday, yes, it's Friday.
Hour. How's it looking
out
there?
Yeah, currently headed northbound here on
Man, I can't. I'm so happy to see Pup Scan in the air. You're not going to believe this shit. Pup Scan's in the chopper. Oh, shit. Hold on. Pup Scan. Oh, shit. Wow. How cool is that, right? That's awesome.
That is what's really so concerning about this. But continuing to make his way here northbound on the 405, coming up to the Western Avenue exit. In terms of another freeway nearby, that would be the 110.
Eliana, you know, so we're looking at this driver drive pretty recklessly, and we know that police officers stopped following him. But now, at what point and what would be protocol as far as like he's driving this recklessly right now on the highway? Would officers continue to follow this vehicle?
So what they can do, Annabelle, is just continue this surveillance mode, which is again a helicopter only. And the reason they do that is that they think that maybe if this person doesn't see any patrol units behind him, maybe he'll drive a little bit more calmly and eventually, hopefully, just drive home or drive to a friend's house or even just drive into a parking structure, just something that will get him off the road, and then they can try to swoop in at that point with officers and take him into custody. At this point, just from what I've been able to gather in the 5 minutes or so that we've been overhead, it doesn't seem to be working because, again, there's no units behind him, and look at these incredible speeds that he is clocking here on the 405 freeway approaching the Crenshaw Avenue exit.
You know, as you look at this, I wonder if there's something wrong with the vehicle. It seems to be rattling a little bit. Saw some what appeared to be smoke coming out of the back
breaking down.
right tire. So don't know if this vehicle will soon be disabled. But again, we are looking at the one being a stolen vehicle as it travels now on the 405 North heading into Torrance, you said? And it makes you wonder, we don't know how many people are in the car, but is it perhaps that any of them may be armed at this point?
Yeah, at this point it's unclear because it's also unknown how was this vehicle taken. Was it in some sort of armed carjacking, or was it simply a crime of opportunity where perhaps the owner left the vehicle's keys inside and somebody jumped in, then they took it? That's still a lot of questions that we have as to how the original crime occurred. But again, from what we were able to hear, that was a close call there with that black vehicle. Wow, nearly sideswiped him. But from what we were able to gather on the scanner, this vehicle was taken earlier this month from the LAPD's Wilshire division, which again is about the mid-city area. And when LAPD officers spotted the vehicle earlier today at about 3 o'clock or so, it was in South LA. Again, it was LAPD who first gave chase, but they let it go because of dangerous maneuvers like what you're seeing here.
Yeah, boys.
The County Sheriff's Department picked it up after that.
All right, Eliana, we're just going to recap what we know so far. So this is a pursuit. You see this white Soul this white Kia Soul driving on the 405 freeway in the Carson Torrance area, South Bay area. The police officer spotted this vehicle around 3 p.m. They decided to stop the pursuit because of
he hit him. I think he hit him. He hit him.
You see that this vehicle just exited the 405
that was
freeway.
a side swipe there.
And that was a side swipe. And so, again, this driver continues to drive pretty recklessly, going way over the speed limit. Eliana, whereabouts are we at right now?
Yeah, we're in Lawndale now, Annabelle, and we are experiencing a little bit of weather here through the South Bay. We're getting some of that marine fog here, so every now and then we may actually lose the shot in a little bit of fog, and hopefully it's going to be thin enough to where we're going to be able to continue to follow the vehicle. But for now, he's on surface streets here in Lawndale.
You guys get the like button, please.
Hawthorne is the major street
Help
here.
me out with the like button.
Again, it is...
Thank you. Oh.
Okay, we have temporarily lost our picture. There it is, back again. When you look at this pursuit, the LAPD or any other law enforcement agency is not following this driver right now. But Ileana, obviously he's aware or she is aware that there is somebody flying overhead.
What they gonna
because
do?
they realize
what they
that
gonna
they
do?
are being right now in pursuit. The car coming to a stop there looks like it may be trapped, trying to find its way around. So what have you got up in the sky with you right there? Do you have police helicopters with you there?
Yeah, we do. We actually have the CHP helicopter overhead. Prior to that, it was the LA County helicopter. Prior to that, it was LAPD. So whoever is behind the wheel of this stolen vehicle has used up a number of resources from varying, oh my gosh. Wow,
I missed it.
What a close call.
I looked away for a second.
Nearly T-boned here in Lawndale.
Oh, no.
All right, so Eliana is tracking this vehicle along with the CHP chopper there. But again, in the South Bay area, now on side streets, this is such a dangerous situation for so many of those pedestrians that are just walking around, not knowing that there's a pursuit going on. But it seems like it's
in a parking lot.
Oh my God! Like right by that lady.
And Ileana, you mentioned the marine layer coming in. We've seen little glimpses of it here and there, but perhaps now leaving Lawndale.
Yeah, headed back towards the east here after that very scary close call. After that, he made his way through the Target parking lot. There were a couple of pedestrians walking around, but fortunately, no close calls there. But now he's in what looks like a residential neighborhood. We're entering Hawthorne, folks. So if you live in the Hawthorne area, you're just going to want to stay off the road until this is resolved and this guy gets out of this area, because this is the first time, actually, that we've seen him in a small residential neighborhood. Prior to this, he was just on major freeways, major surface streets, but now in a small, quiet community here on a Friday afternoon. A lot of people just getting home from work or school, and a lot of people still on summer break as well. So it's a situation where we could see a number of pedestrians out here in the Hawthorne area, but continuing to make his way here through surface streets.
Certainly an area you don't want to see this pursuit when you see homes there, Annabelle, and people potentially that could be on the sidewalk as well as the roads there, as she mentioned.
Eliana, let's talk about the streets the street that this driver's on.
Annabelle, this is a small residential street, homes on either side of the street. So definitely not the type of... Oh, look at that. There was a bicyclist there, or a guy on a...
All right, let's switch real quick to ABC. Oh, okay. Real quick, boom. I don't know. Do we like ABC or the embassy?
And see if they change their mind, if any of these jurisdictions change their mind. But, you know, at the rate he's going, somebody is destined to get hurt here. He's basically enjoying the ride. It's not his car. Every indication is that this is a stolen vehicle. You know, nobody in the passenger seat, probably nobody in the back either, but we don't know that for sure either. You can see pretty heavily tinted windows. It is a white Kia Soul just kind of zigzagging through Hawthorne here, trying to maybe he's aware of the helicopter, maybe not. Maybe he's tracking this online. That's always a possibility. But other than that, you can see he's doing about 50 miles per hour down surface streets. So, again, if he continues this dangerous driving, it really, sorry, stand by, guys. It just really, it's scary.
All right. Which chopper is,
Ooh.
That was close again. What chopper is Pup Scan on? Is he ABC?
Over onto Imperial Highway, you could see him cutting off that cross traffic. A really wild move right there as he makes his way now westbound on Imperial Highway. He's paralleling the 105 freeway here. We'll see if he finds an opportunity to get on the freeway. No, he's going to a McDonald's parking lot.
Okay, you go get those
parking lot. No real reason to cut through here. He had Imperial Highway basically to himself, coming around the wrong way through the drive-through to come out onto Hawthorne Boulevard, now northbound Hawthorne Boulevard here, as he continues to meander through here. Again, to your point, David, these all really appear to be last-minute random decisions. And look at him just weaving across these surface streets. He's not getting away from anybody. He's just creating a hazard for himself and for everybody around him. But there's really no pressure on him. You can't overestimate just how reckless this is and how senseless it is, because there's just nobody that's really a threat to him. Again, unless he's putting on a show for somebody else. If he's streaming this, or if he's enjoying tracking himself online, you just don't know what is the mental capacity of this driver.
He's fine. I mean, he's driving. He is driving erratic, but I think he's clipped one or two people. Ooh. If you guys could help me out with the like button.
Exactly right. Now making a right turn, high speeds into oncoming lanes of traffic down Lenox Boulevard, and now he's really ramping things up here through the LAX area. He's actually traveling away from LAX. We're going to cross over the freeway here in just a minute, but you can see him now speeding, going the wrong way on Lenox Boulevard. If we widen out, you can see there's nobody coming in his direction, but that could change on a dime here. Now coming southbound Prairie. Southbound Prairie off of Lenox, around all of that traffic.
Windshield wipers
at 108th Street, continuing now southbound on Prairie Avenue. Now he's doing a circle in this area. He's going to complete a giant loop as he approaches the 105 freeway. He's going to come back towards Imperial Highway once again. As you can see him coming back towards us, we are looking north. He's traveling southbound along Prairie Avenue, and you now see the windshield wipers coming on. So what's going on in his head is really an open question mark. Is he under the influence? Is he, what is going on here? Because nothing here is making any sense. Look at these wild right turns. I'm sorry, that was a left turn, a wild left turn there for no reason at all. And that helicopter right there is the only law enforcement that has eyes on this suspect. Inches. Oh!
Long way, almost ran into that car.
Yeah, oncoming lanes there. You see almost a head-on collision there for a second. Now he's back onto Yukon Avenue, going back in the northbound direction, and this is getting scarier by the minute. You have no idea what is going through his head. We see a lot of random decisions being made here for no good reason whatsoever. And I can't believe that we aren't seeing any. Look at that. Just a really close call there. Yeah. At least the third or fourth close call in the last couple of minutes here. There's a bicyclist about to cross over 111th there. He's continuing northbound Yukon through that red light. Now he's just really not obeying any of these signs, lights. Forget about it. He is off. I mean, he is off on his own here. He's really... This is just so scary, because I can't remember a pursuit where we've seen such reckless driving without any law enforcement even posing a threat to pull him over. I mean, it's so senseless that you just can't imagine why he'd be, doing this. I mean, he's going to get himself hurt.
You don't see any units anywhere near there. I mean, I don't see any. So it doesn't look like they're even kind of staging to prepare to take this guy down. So he's just flat out there all by himself. Look at that.
Yeah. Exactly right. Approaching Century Boulevard there, northbound Yukon, through another red light there. Approaching Century, he's right by SoFi Stadium. He's back in the correct lanes of traffic, but you can see this Friday afternoon, all of the pedestrians that we have seen out and about. It's a beautiful afternoon, and it's just shy of rush hour. You can see he's got this road to himself, but traffic is going to pick up here if he decides to get on the freeway. In fact, even on the 405, he was encountering a little bit of traffic, and that may be why he decided to pull off. Now he's pulling off of Century Boulevard, back southbound, off of Century, back onto Yukon Avenue. If they had units in the area, you can imagine a scenario where that might even be the same target. He might even be, he's in the same target. No, that's a Costco. It's a different shopping center. But not far. He's close to that target. He's now in a Costco shopping center. And if they had units in the area, it's a great opportunity to set up for a spike strip. But look at this wild driving through the packed parking lot, I should say, with lots of people walking around. You can see him trying to come out the other side here. He's going to end up.
Yeah, you got to be wondering if this guy's under the influence. The guy's running from himself. Meth. Can't be heroin, I don't think. Meth. Upper.
The Yukon Avenue, guys.
It's almost illogical the way he's driving right now, because nobody's pursuing him, yet he's jumping a curb, going over a bush, flying through a Costco parking lot with lots of pedestrians all over the place. It's almost like somebody's right on his tail, but nobody is there. He's all by himself. It's really incredible to watch his recklessness, and that's one of those things. I wonder what you have to contemplate in order to decide whether to bring this guy, to try to arrest this guy, because it's so dangerous.
I mean, after a while, you have no choice. There was a clear decision made earlier on, especially by the sheriff's department, to just let this go. Besides the fact that they knew it was a stolen vehicle, he really wasn't driving that unsafe. And that all changed in the last 10 minutes. We are watching an entirely different pursuit than how this all started. There was a pursuit under the LAPD jurisdiction for a short time, and then they handed it off to the Sheriff's Department. Sheriff's Department helicopter was watching this guy for a while, and eventually they decided, you know what? This is just not worth it. They handed it off to the CHP to watch from above. This has been in surveillance mode this entire time that we have been on the air. This was in pursuit mode at one point by LAPD, but that is at least a half hour ago. And now we are watching, again, a much more dangerous situation as he tries to weave through traffic here. All of these drivers that you see on this busy Crenshaw Boulevard are unsuspecting of what's coming up behind them. Look at this. He is really threading the needle here, coming so close, within inches of some of these innocent motorists, and all for what? For nothing. The big question here is why? Why is he doing this, and why is he continuing this joyride? You just can't get into the head of some of these guys. You can speculate all you want, but sometimes there really is just no rationale for what we're seeing here.
Chris, it is hard to watch this because we know so many people are being put in danger. This is Giovanna Latta, Eyewitness News at 5 p.m. starting now. I'm still alongside David Ono. And I've been watching this and watching your coverage of this, Chris and David, and wow, this guy is really dangerous.
Look at the speed.
Desperate to get away.
But where is he going? And who is he running from? That's what makes it so intriguing. He's so dangerous to himself and everybody else. Yet nobody is on his tail.
In the middle lane.
I mean, you wonder, he could probably just stop the car and walk away. Nobody is around to arrest him. But he's not doing that.
Right. That's exactly right. He could absolutely walk away from this if he wanted to, but instead, the moves he's pulling, it's almost as if he's living out some video game fantasy. I mean, that's what this is like. I mean, look at the speeds he's doing. He's doing about 65 miles per hour down 108th Street here in South LA. We are in Inglewood, and he is driving like a madman through these very narrow surface streets, coming very close to oncoming traffic here, all for nothing. I mean, really, there's just I can't make any sense out of this, but he must be having the time of his life, because he is continuing to make really erratic moves for no apparent reason whatsoever.
Yeah, we often skirt by. We see these pursuits that are so dangerous. We always at the end of it say it's remarkable that nobody got hurt, that person didn't create more damage or casualties than often happen. But one of these days, we're not going to say that this could be it. If this guy continues to drive the way he's driving, flying through red lights, wrong side of the road, stop signs, in the middle of rush hour, The time is limited on him surviving this and the community surviving this. Something tragic is going to happen.
The longer it goes, the risk just increases. And we do have some video of some of the close calls from this pursuit. I don't know if that's ready for us to share with our viewers, but there have been several close calls.
Look at this.
As you mentioned, he was running stop signs, just that right there. Driving against traffic, weaving in and out of lanes.
It's Friday, man.
Do we have that
Don't
video
move.
ready yet? No. It's coming, apparently. And David, maybe
David and Giovanna, this really highlights the catch-22 that law enforcement is faced with here, because the reason they don't continue the pursuit, the reason they pull back and they decide to let some of these guys go is because of the dangerous nature, because of the liability that they are faced with. If somebody gets hurt, there's a major lawsuit, and all of a sudden the department has to spill out millions of dollars. On the other hand, when they pull back and the driving continues at this dangerous pace, they have no choice but to get involved, and then again the likelihood of somebody getting hurt goes up dramatically. Either way, it is such a dangerous game of cat and mouse that they don't want to play if they don't have to play it. But in a situation like this, sometimes they're left with no choice, and that's what we're seeing here, where you have multiple law enforcement agencies that are looking at this, weighing out the pros and the cons, and trying to figure out, is it worth it? Is it worth it to the pedestrians and the motorists on the road there? Is it worth it to put the department in that liability? Or is it, there's no right or wrong answer sometimes. It's really a judgment call on the part of the supervisors and the watch commanders to decide when to pursue these vehicles and when to pull back. And each agency in the metro area has a different policy, by the way. So these are not easy cut and dry decisions, but you see a driver like this with nobody behind him and the kind of driving that we're seeing, and it becomes a much scarier proposition.
And for people who are just joining us, can you explain why this pursuit, or why it was initiated in the beginning?
He made a U-turn. He's continuing southbound. So, yeah, this all started, I think, in the Compton area, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, it may have started a little further north. LAPD initially tried to pull this driver over because he was wanted for GTA. This is a grand theft auto suspect. That white Kia believed to be stolen. He's made a turn onto 90th. We're going to try and track him here. We're going around LAX's air.
All right, let them go around. Let's see over here.
Very careful. We are monitoring this vehicle, and we are seeing how fast he or she is driving. Just going way over the speed limit. Hasn't gone on the freeway, as you mentioned, Robert, but is really just staying on these surface streets. And we know traffic is very heavy at this hour, which could slow down the driver, but is still turning whenever he or she wants to turn, and going into these parking lots, which is really
that's true, T-Bag,
at risk at this point.
And the Kia was emoji.
A white Kia Soul. This
I did the if he dies, he dies. That's not a good emoji for this one, this channel. I thought about it after.
And of course, we got word of it, and then we started.
It was the rapist chase. That's why I made that emoji, but I was after the fact. I was like, for him, it's okay, but everybody else, probably not.
Seattle, Bill, great to speak with you again. Under these circumstances, I'm going to have you take it away. What can you tell us from your perspective?
Here's the Mustang.
It's Friday afternoon, 5 o'clock. We're dealing with a lot of factors here. The agency that's responsible for this pursuit is obviously making a correct call. They're backing off a little bit. They have the air unit overhead that's helping other ground units coordinate. The overall safety of the public, I'm sure, is being taken care of. So in this instant, they know it's a stolen vehicle. The individual is obviously driving without any regard for public safety. The pursuing officers in the vehicles have backed off a little bit, which is a common tactic used by various agencies for the overall safety of the public. And they're coordinating. They're not only coordinating with their own agency, but allied agencies that may take over the pursuit at some point in the future, depending on where this individual ends up, whether it's in the county area or surrounding city.
Well, this is sort of then the question, Bill, when do they make the determination that it is appropriate for them to get involved and to get on the roads and to chase this guy and to try and put an end to this on the road itself?
Well, as a former sergeant myself, you consider the liability factor. We've seen time and time
ABC
again
has some really nice
different pursuits where individuals do crash. We're trying to limit that liability for the agency, but more importantly for the public. The sergeant that
ABC's back and they got some really nice.
And
almost see inside the car.
yeah,
You
he's
might
busy.
be able to see better than me, David. Is he looking at the phone, or is he
on and off?
He looks like he's moving. I don't know if that's.
You might be watching the chase.
The first
One of the news
shot, the one
channels.
where he got a good shot, he was definitely thumbing something on his phone, and trying to steer at the same time.
94th and Main Street, crossing Main, down 94th, continuing. Look at the damage there on the passenger side, and it almost makes you wonder whether that was there or whether he has done that. Most likely, I'm going to go out on a limb. This is purely a guess. Probably an impact that he made during the course of this pursuit, but for all I know, I mean, this was, that's not his vehicle, so we just don't know. But the driving that we've seen here, we've seen so many close calls. We just haven't made an actual visual of him actually coming in contact with any other vehicles, but he's continuing these random turns now in an entirely different neighborhood. We're in the Southwest Division of LAPD's jurisdiction, just to the west of the 110 freeway. Still, I'm sorry, Southeast Division, I should say, Southeast, pardon me. Still, though, no sign of any black and whites, but what you do see here is a lot of people crossing the road, going about their day without any anticipation of this guy flying down these narrow streets here. Once again, crossing Avalon Boulevard with cross traffic, continuing to speed through these residential neighborhoods. And at this point, you just hope he runs out of gas at this point.
We're all on edge, Chris, right? But I did want to ask you, so no black and whites tailing him, but what about the chopper? Is there a law enforcement chopper overhead?
Yeah, California Highway Patrol still has eyes on him. They are still calling out the location. And back at dispatch, there is back at the station, somebody is watching and ready to make that decision. You have multiple jurisdictions, though. You have California Highway Patrol. They're watching this very carefully. They have a helicopter over the suspect. You also have LA County Sheriff's Department with their own decision makers at the helm. They're watching it go through their jurisdiction. And then you have LAPD, who is watching this madman drive through the streets of Southeast LA in LAPD's jurisdiction. So you have any number of agencies here on top of some of the smaller ones that we've traveled through, like Inglewood just a moment ago, where anybody can make the decision to engage with the suspect, get units in the area, try and set up for a spike strip if they have the opportunity. There you see, he's rolled up that window. He's got the phone in his hand, the phone in his right hand, using his left hand to steer the vehicle, making wild, random turns, continuing as he goes over the double yellow lines here, a whole line of traffic on 92nd Street at a red light. And you can see traffic is starting to pick up here as he makes his way down, going the wrong way on 92nd. Folks pulling over to make way for this guy as he continues to speed through Southeast LA without anybody's safety in mind here. This is
thank you so much.
So
thank you for the membership.
And traffic is only going to get worse. It's just a few minutes after 5 p.m. on a Friday.
The Kia boys. We need a Kia mode for sure.
A lot more people will be hitting the roads in their cars on their commute
LFG
home.
and Kia boys.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally he's found some empty roads, but overall, there's a lot of traffic out on this Friday afternoon, and you can see him occasionally encountering that traffic. And in this position, he's actually forced to stop. Look at him.
Oh, he's getting out.
Getting out, dumping the vehicle in the middle of the street.
It's a woman!
It's a
woman!
Jumping out of the vehicle with a backpack, now running for it, but there's nobody behind her. There's nobody behind her. She's just dumped her vehicle, a stolen Kia Soul in the middle of the road, and now she is just going for a jog as if nothing ever happened. And without anybody in the vicinity, she could very well hide out easily if she found the right hiding spot here. But she's just going to jog up Compton Avenue here on the sidewalk. We're going to follow her each and every move here, but on foot, they have an excellent opportunity to try and get some law enforcement in the area to get this woman into custody. She is a real danger to the community, and I sure hope we see this end, with an arrest here, because she's got to be taken off the road.
Absolutely.
And you would think that law enforcement is mobilized to sort of, get in there as quickly as possible. Now that if we can see her, the law enforcement chopper can.
They're watching as well. Yeah. They're very identifiable with the white pants and the jersey shirt or whatever that is. And then she's not gonna run too fast. I mean, she's already kind of getting gassed, so you can tell she's really tired.
That's the ironic thing about it. She thinks she's just.
She's
hitchhiking here.
She's hitchhiking.
Bro.
Stop. Come on. Come on. Really? This is unbelievable. This is out of control. I mean, what is she going to do? She has no idea how many eyes are on her. She thinks she's going for a Friday afternoon stroll down Compton Avenue. She's about to be rudely awoken here if she continues. If she tries to hitchhike or carjack somebody, this is going to take a much different turn. Look at her stopping traffic, trying to get a ride, looking at her hands, trying to beg for a ride as she continues.
I want to see somebody pick her up. Wouldn't it be crazy?
This is unbelievable. This is incredible.
This might be a first to see a pursuit suspect then get out of the car and then try to hitchhike.
Does she not hear the choppers?
Well, she's probably
she must.
She
must.
Multiple choppers but you know.
Man,
I'm so fascinated to see if law enforcement decides to pick this person up, or is she just going to walk? Where is she from? What's her story? We just don't know.
Well, she's had plenty of opportunities to hide. She could easily, find private property where she could hide. She's not making any attempt to hide. She's sticking with the sidewalk here, just trying to. I mean, who knows where I doubt she knows where she is, to be honest with you. But I could be wrong. But she's really looking for a ride. I mean, she's desperate for a ride, and I just don't think she understands how many eyes are on her. But she is still continuing to try and wave down other motorists. There's going to be some guy that pulls over. It's not going to be long. I know it seems like it's taking forever, but there are officers on the way over here, and it seems like it's, we're a mere seconds or minutes away from somebody pulling up here with lights and sirens flashing. But right now,
and those people there, I wonder if they know what's happening.
We have seen signs that there are people watching this, and we saw a couple of guys just a few minutes ago on an intersection that saw her going by and clearly, physically, waved and were excited about that. Those folks on that balcony might have been watching this as well, knowing that she's coming their way. So this has become a little bit of something. So there are a number of folks out there that are watching this pursuit.
Yeah, LAPD has units on the way. So LAPD Southeast units, I believe, are actually making their way over here. Like I said a minute ago, it seems like it's taking forever, but they are aware of this. They are watching this live on ABC7, and they are clearly aware of her movements, and they are trying to get units into position here as she continues to hustle towards 100th Street. She's got the phone still in her hand, a backpack and another bag as she starts to pick up the pace once again here down Compton Avenue. And again, not venturing into any private property. She's sticking with a public sidewalk, which tells me that she's not really making a big effort to hide. She's had plenty of opportunities to hide in a way that we would never find her and law enforcement would lose track of her. That's not the situation here. But what I am curious to see is, as this pursuit starts to go viral on the internet, at what point do we start to see other people? There's somebody right there with a phone. There are already people, just as I was saying that, there are already pedestrians on the street there, well aware of this woman who is just walking through the neighborhood, and they know she's up to no good. So
but now she's on
this is now
property.
Public knowledge. Yeah. I'm sorry, Giovanna. Go ahead.
She's on private property now.
She is now in an apartment. Yeah, she's in an apartment complex. Looks like parking. Yeah, these are two apartment buildings. She's in between the two, and CHP with eyes on her here. We'll see if
she might have ducked in.
She might have walked into one of these parking garages.
Yeah.
Or one of these carports. I don't think she came out the other side. They lost her. They lost her inside, in between these two apartment buildings.
She could have knocked on someone's door, right?
She might just be hanging out in the shade. That's a parking garage right there, so she might be hanging in there. They're all watching
look at these people. See, these people know exactly who she is.
Oh yeah, they're all.
And everybody is watching on their phone here, trying to catch a glimpse. They're watching online. They're trying to record it. But she is somewhere in this vicinity, and they are now in a position, now that she's on foot, they should be able to lock down this apartment complex, or at least this one square block. However, it's been at least 5 minutes, maybe I'm losing track of time, maybe even more, and we still see no sign of LAPD. We know they're on the way, but right now, no sign of LAPD, as this woman has more and more time to hide, whether she's just getting some shade or taking a rest. Like you said, David, good possibility there. She could just take a breather inside the carport undercover and wait this out.
She could be hiding under a car, and we don't know what the strategy is for law enforcement. They may know who she is.
There is no strategy.
A lot we don't know yet.
Well, behavior alone, she's still a threat. She could be dangerous, and now she's hanging out in this property here. We don't know where she is or if she's trying to get into somebody's place.
Oh no, that's the
police CHP helicopter that's been watching her as well. They know where she is. There's an approximation at least, and from that they could track her down. But to state the obvious, the good news is she jumped out of the car. That's when she was the most dangerous.
That's when
far
she was
less
most
dangerous now.
Right, exactly right. I don't think they know who she is because for all of this pursuit, they've been referring to her as a he, and so I think they were just as surprised when she stepped out of the vehicle. This was a stolen vehicle, a stolen Kia Soul. Not sure where it was stolen, but her actions here. Well, you're right, David. I mean, she's really now that car is abandoned. She is not a threat, not as much of a threat, anyways, as she was earlier. And now there is a belief that she is indeed hiding out in that carport, likely the one on the right there, but I'm not sure. There's two buildings there with two separate carports, and she is somewhere in this vicinity.
Yeah, and it's possible that all of these pedestrians we're seeing are calling 911 and letting authorities know that she is at that property.
Wait, is this guy talking to somebody? I don't see anybody he's talking to.
Yeah, who's he talking to? What are they pointing at?
Is it possible that somebody's over there?
He's talking to somebody.
He's talking to somebody.
He's talking to somebody.
Keep an eye on him.
Oh, maybe he's just talking into his phone while he's looking for her.
Got it. Yeah, we're going to try and come around the other side here, see who's on the other side of that fence. He was talking to somebody. I don't know if it's her, but he was talking to somebody near that dumpster. And who knows at this point if she's, I mean, it's just impossible to see. We can't tell, exactly where she is, but he appeared to be communicating with somebody behind that fence.
Yeah. Well, this has really been a fascinating pursuit. I mean, we took it with some questions.
Front of the building.
Sure.
All right, somebody's got eyes on her in the front of the building. That's going to be the California Highway Patrol helicopter who has made eyes on the suspect.
Could she
has
have
apparently changed clothes.
Yeah,
she's changed clothes.
No way.
Oh, same clothes. Sorry, I'm sorry. Same clothes.
Same clothes.
She's in the same clothes. I'm sorry, I'm getting conflicting information. She's in the same clothes now, and hopefully we'll catch a glimpse of her here on the front of the building. Look at the crowd that's starting to gather here. There's somebody with their phone out. She's in a doorway.
Mess with mama. Don't mess with mama.
Are they pointing at something?
People are pointing at her, but
or are they trying to get the attention of the
no sign of any law enforcement here.
No
I just have to reiterate what we're watching here is going on. I'm closer to 10 minutes now, where there is no sign of law enforcement. We heard that LAPD Southeast units were on the way out here, but quite frankly, guys, I can't tell you I'd be surprised if they just abandon this. It's possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but they are very quick to let these go. If there's not an immediate danger to the public, and they don't feel like it's worth. They have. We don't know that, but they have other business. They have other calls coming in. 911 ringing off the hook left and right.
Kill somebody. You almost killed a couple people.
If a woman who's no longer in that stolen vehicle is just walking around South LA, it becomes a here they come. Here they come.
Oh my gosh!
LAPD Southeast units.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Highway Patrol and LAPD. LAPD and CHP, two separate black and whites, now pulling up to this apartment building. And if they can get eyes on her, they'll be in a better position here. Otherwise, they're going to need more units to lock down this area and try and corner her. But at least there are units here. CHP and LAPD both responding out here to the end of this pursuit.
But look at how casually everyone else is walking around. That makes me a little nervous.
That's KTLA right there.
Hopefully they can help direct them to where they think she is. I just kind of, I kind of think that she still should be seen as a threat, because when it comes to her behavior during the driving, and also who knows what her mental state is, and if she's now trying to hang out in somebody's private property, trying to hide out, that could be tricky. So he's going to go check this out.
So he's moving a little quicker. Maybe he sees something. Maybe he doesn't. He's definitely spoke spoken to a few witnesses down there, and now you see that CHP officer heading back down that alleyway in the same direction that we were trying to find her earlier. So somewhere in between these buildings here, somebody has made eyes on her, and as far as we could tell, she hasn't moved over to a different property. I think she's probably still hiding out near this parking garage. I imagine if we stay here long enough, this officer will eventually
a lot of people gathering there,
bring her back out to the street if he finds her. But yeah, you can see the crowd here. Everybody over here seems to be well aware of who she is just based on what they're seeing on their phones and online.
Yeah. I'm just so curious to see where she is, or if she actually was able to get into somebody's home from underneath there. And there's probably a lot of places that she could be hiding as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hiding spots here. She is on private property, so she is trespassing. But again, when we talk about those petty crimes, was that the officer?
Yeah, it looked like he was looking around the back of the other building.
He's looking around. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most of when you talk about some of the all of the traffic infractions and the trespassing
she might be gone too.
Charge, I mean, these are all relatively petty misdemeanors relative to the actual theft of the automobile. But other than that, guys, it's going to be probably a mental health situation at the end of the day. But right now, you can see there's an LAPD officer in front, a CHP officer in the back. They are trying to track her down.
Yeah, this could be something that takes a while. So I don't know if there are other units showing up or if it's going to be left to these two officers to kind of assess and get out. But I hope everybody in that apartment building can at least assess their own property so they know that she's not intruding on them, because there's law enforcement right there that can help out if she is.
All right, so I'm being told that CHP may have her. The officer, the CHP officer who was walking through there may have her. Whether he has the right person is yet to be, yet to be seen here. Nope, there he is. He's coming back out empty-handed here. So we had heard a report that CHP possibly had somebody in custody, but now you can see him coming around the building here, talking into his radio. He's got his hand on his weapon and still trying to find her, now perhaps possibly inside this building. Additional CHP officers running in there now. Private security, LAPD, CHP, all walking through that doorway. Maybe they have eyes on her, but we did have a report just a few seconds ago that CHP possibly had somebody in custody.
What happened to the canines, man? Bring canines back. Let's make canines great again, right? Maybe they had too many lawsuits. Remember that one chase, like, they set the canine on the wrong person, or they attacked the wrong person? I think that's happened a couple of times. I feel like lately I haven't really seen canines in a while, the chases.
Hopefully they'll get her.
More LAPD units pulling in here. You can see them continuing. Yeah, backup now arriving, going through that doorway. Again, I want to just kind of caution, even though we have a report that somebody's in custody, many of these situations sometimes end up with a mistaken identity because the officers on the ground don't have as clear a description as we do. We've been watching her for the last however many minutes, so we know exactly what she looks like. But those officers on the ground may, maybe rounding up some people who they have, a suspicion of, but not positive identity. So we'll see. They may have somebody in custody. We'll see if it's the right woman, presumably inside the building, as we've seen now a number of officers walk through that doorway.
Yeah, and perhaps the local security guard. I think you mentioned there was local security there. Maybe they...
It looked like a private... there was somebody in a white shirt. That looked like private security. We know we saw LAPD go in there and several CHP officers. So I'm getting more reports that we are getting confirmation now. Somebody is in custody. I think we'll find out here in short order whether it is indeed the right suspect, but somebody is being taken into custody as we speak.
Right.
And forced to stop. Look at him.
He's getting out.
Getting out. Dumping the vehicle in the middle of the street.
It's a woman.
It's a woman. Establishing a perimeter to protect people and not telling people to stand back. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. I think they want to keep the crowd back for sure. They obviously have a better idea now. They're focusing on that doorway. So
the crowd
inside,
is largely...
I'm sure they are keeping people away. We don't see that crime scene being established just yet. But at the end of the day, again, they're going to, if they do indeed find her, it won't exactly be a large crime scene. They will take her into custody and figure out what the situation is. But they are calling in for backup. There is a little bit of crowd control. They want to keep people back just in case things go sideways. Absolutely, Giovanna. But it does appear from everything we're hearing that somebody is being taken into custody, and now you can see that LAPD officer in a much more relaxed stance in front of the building, and some more residents coming out here. Again, a lot of commotion. You have a number of helicopters overhead, a number of law enforcement vehicles surrounding the building, and so any second now, I think we'll have our answer. But it does indeed seem like they do indeed.
I want to see her come out in cuffs.
All right, so we're debating on whether to stay with this and see the moment they pull her out, or we need to move on to other news. Here come some more officers.
Are you still with me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to tell you, we're getting some more information from our assignment desk that they are giving the code 4. So the suspect is in custody. They are on the second floor of that apartment building.
Interesting.
But they are calling for an ambulance.
Okay.
So the condition of that suspect is now very much in question. What happened on that second floor, again, very much in question, as the suspect appears to require immediate medical attention. They are waiting for that ambulance now. That explains the delay here, but units are now converging on the second floor of that building right there, but they do have confirmation that that pursuit suspect is indeed in custody. They have issued the code 4, just waiting for an ambulance.
Right.
Go 4. Now she's a victim. She's a perpetrator, almost killed multiple people in the street, hit multiple cars on the way to the spot where she abandoned the car, and now all of a sudden, now she's the victim now. Everybody got to stop, and we got to get the ambulance, and we got to look after her. Lisa Love, thank you so much for the 10. We get CBS since they backed off. Appreciate the 10. Thank you, says Super Chat Train. Let's get it. Yo, I think you did that last time. He caused chaos in a good way. Show your appreciation for all he does. Choo choo. Happy Friday, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. And Silverback Orangutan. Thank you for the 10 as well. Gracias, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm waiting to see if they get this lady out. I'm so happy we got a chase for Friday. I'm hoping we get more. It's still early, especially considering Cali time. It's pitch black out here and daylight in Cali, 3-hour difference. So it's really early still. Maybe we'll get some chases, and really salute to, in case you guys haven't seen, Pup Scan is in the chopper. Pup Scan. Let me show you the
Super Chat
clip
Train,
again.
let's get it. Moneybag, show your appreciation for all he does. Choose CHOOO Blue Heart. Happy Friday, everyone.
I'll show this real quick. I'm just happy for this guy. Look at him. Look at him. Taking off, I guess. What? Happy for that guy. Young guy. I think he just got out of high school. Pup Scan. And he's a large reason why I see a lot of the chases that I do.
Thank you for the voodoo. You do so well.
You know, and like from before Wilson came along, you know, Wilson's a big part of that now too in the Facebook chat group. But in the beginning, before Wilson was here, I mean, that's the person. I mean, it still is too. You know, the person that I really saw the chases. He had all these scanner things going on, and now they're taking care of him. It would be cool if he got a job over there. You know, I don't know if he's just like hanging out, interning, but I don't know if he ever became a pilot or a camera person. They should hire him. That'd be kind of nice for him. Thank you, Chrissy. Chrissy, how you doing? Helicopter Friday, yeah. They need to bring canines back. Bring the canines back in these chases. But there probably was lawsuits. I mean,
Helicopter Friday.
They probably had a couple of lawsuits. I've seen some crazy stuff happen with those canines, really tear people up. You know? I remember one time there was a chase where I thought the canine had jumped through the window, or they let him in the door. The guy actually fought the canine off and kicked the canine out.
Is of help, but eventually something will come up if people are dropping their guards and not familiar with their surroundings or how they leave their vehicles.
Thank you, Nana, up too. Thank you so much.
I'm curious as to why are there different agencies right now involved in trying to apprehend this woman and take her into custody?
I believe CHP initiated the pursuit. And in this case, they will normally hand it over to the agency that initiated the contact. In this case,
Upscan is the OG chase.
They backed off, although it ended up in an LA City area. They're coordinating the efforts in terms of who's going to take the arrest and the eventual booking process. So that's how it normally works. But if another crime occurred within LA City that LAPD wanted to handle, then they would file a supplement report that would go along with the original agency.
All right.
We're speaking with Bill Preciado, former CHP officer, helping guide us through this pursuit as Ileana Moreno has done so expertly in the past and has throughout today. A stolen Kia that was stolen several days ago. Police found out
Locomotive
about it
chugga chugga chugga.
They gave chase. They decided not to continue the pursuit on the ground.
Thank you.
CHP was involved. LA County Sheriff's was involved. The pursuit finally ended with the woman abandoning her car, heading down the street, trying to hitchhike her way to another vehicle. And then right now we understand that inside of this apartment building, she is now in custody. You are watching the NBC4 News at 5:30.
The Standoff.
All right, we are going to move on now, and we are going to talk about Perry Kurtz. Comedian Perry Kurtz has been killed after being struck in a hit and run last night in Tarzana. Ooh. We first brought you the story as breaking news on Today in LA.
NBC4's Camilla Rambaldi joins us live from Tarzana with the very latest on the investigation.
I did start the train last week. Showing appreciation is important to me. Is there a scanner we can enlisten to?
And Annabelle, an 18-year-old driver, has now been arrested. We spoke earlier today with two of Perry Kurtz's friends,
so much that you did.
telling us about the shows that they had, and remembering.
There's not a scanner right now because I believe this is over, but there is a standoff. We can probably go check that out. I texted Wilson. I don't remember if we have permission from this guy. I think we do. Let me check out the link. Oh, he's been there 3 hours. Holy crap. I don't remember if Kern County Crime Watchers. I don't remember if we have. I feel like we've used the stream before, but I don't remember. I sent myself the link. I can make a thumbnail and set up a stream in the meantime. Oh, we do have permission. Okay, cool. All right, we can watch Standoff. Let's see if we can find out the details of what's going on here. Pull up it on the screen and make a thumbnail. Hit and run. Dirty, man.
This is an oil
Dirty as hell.
God.
Oh, what's going on with this over here?
Is Pup Scan from our group here?
Pup Scan. He's on Twitter. If you go to Twitter and type in Pup Scan, he's there. He's a good guy. Really a young. I see him as a kid. You know, he got out of high school. Young guy. He's not in the chat. He's popped in before, but he's literally flying in the chopper. He's popped in the chat a few times and said hi. Okay, I guess we'll have to use this feed. All right, give me a second. Let me work on making a quick thumbnail. Do that next. And then we'll try to find out. It looks like this person's playing the scanner, which is cool, so we can listen to that. What a crazy chase, huh? Yeah. He just got to this place just recently. Wow, look at that. Been going for a little while though. So early in their feed, I just did a quick little scan, and you can see like the cops. Where's it at? They were like climbing the walls, like, or they're climbing the fence and stuff. I guess trying to get inside. Look at that. Look at that. That's from earlier. Chugga chugga choo choo. Razzmatazz, thank you.
Apparently this is turning into a standoff. Apparently there's a person suicide by cop. Apparently they got here. He took off running. Oh, there he is right there. Apparently he ran the back fence, jumped over to that lady's house over there.
What?
Took off, came back, jumped over, and went back into the residence. So now we're here on basically on a standoff.
Wow.
Suicide by cop. That's what's taking place here. So far, they did not see a firearm in his hand while he was running, but there is a firearm registered to this house.
Bring your left vehicle.
All right, you guys are telling me this is already on the scene second channel. I didn't know that. Oh, okay. I had no idea. NC Kelly says this is already on the scene second channel. Mental health subject wants to be injured by police. Okay, that's what he was talking about. I saw somebody else say that as well. Oh, Sumi Sue, thank you.
Appreciate you, Mel. Thanks for the follow. Heathen Soul X.
Already on the scene with his daughter and family channel. Okay, wow. Carrie Diamond, thanks so much for the 5. And Jeb Cracker, you were hanging out with us earlier today. And the members. Mel, check out Wilson's update on the Kia lady. Okay, thank you. Let me see.
I don't know if the Bearcat's coming or not. There is a lot of officers here.
Oh. So Wilson says that the pursuit lady took a bunch of fentanyl and
Now
had a
check
seizure.
out Wilson's update on Kia lady.
We were talking about this earlier. I'm trying to make the thumbnail, but you know, I guess it happens when it happens. But we were talking about this earlier about how crazy society is. I don't remember which was it, the members live or was it something else today? Or maybe it was the cop killer. I don't remember which thing it was. We're talking about because remember we had this. So we were talking about the Unhinged movie because of the Taco Bell situation, the psychopath guy. That it seems like because a woman he perceived that this woman cut him off in Taco Bell. He was coming in, it seems like, and she was coming in, and she just went first. And the guy lost his mind, like fucking went berserk. So she gets in there, and he rams the car behind her, like rams into her. And then she tells the person at the window, like, you're gonna have to call the cops. This guy walks up and shoots her. And then shot himself. And cops are saying there's no known connection. This dude flipped over Taco Bell. I mean, dude. That's how it is these days. You don't know what's going on with people. You don't know what's going on in their head. This lady almost killed people in the chase. And ends up almost killing her. It seems like trying to kill herself, taking all these pills.
I feel like we're at a movie theater.
All traffic north at Raywood 201.
You really don't know what's going on with people, man.
Get them. The officer Higgs trying to get on top of the roof over there. Here we go.
Moving in. You guys use the vehicle over here. Move it forward.
I wonder if this is about to be over. I wonder if we should still read a new live or not. AYJ, there's no video that I know of. There was just witnesses. And we did a live stream because there was live feed, but the live feed was like after everything happened, you know? So like I saw people on Facebook commenting and being like, oh, we saw the whole thing happen. It was crazy. And like just the guy just got out of his car and shot her like point blank and then offed himself.
Get one of those cars to move up, I'll back my car up in the alley. And then I can move the people on my vehicle on the north side of the track to better angle. Confirm.
Unaliving by
7 years old to be jumping over fences like that.
The answer would be probably late 60s, early 70s. 10-4, then the suspect has Blake's phone. I spoke to him earlier.
That's that guy's phone.
No barricade.
So he knows who that guy is.
Kern County, that's Cali too, right? It's California? California.
Maybe that's why when you see he turned back, maybe he was trying to talk to him, tell him to come out.
So is that, he's with his daughter there? That's pretty cool.
Oh, man. Whoa.
Yeah, he's going the wrong. He wants it in front over there. In front of that vehicle.
Can you get the 1021 for...
That's a four-wheel driver right there, baby. Look at
wow, look how he pulled in. Beacon, thank you for the 5. Choo-choo! I need a choo-choo thing. Maybe a choo-choo sound effect. Choo-choo! Alright, I'm gonna move you guys over. So, thank you guys so much for the super chats.
Chugga choo choo locomotive 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 locomotive.
Oh shit. Alright. We're gonna change this. It looks like it might be, they're about to push in the... Let me just make sure I got the profile logged into. Oh. He's not too happy. Shit, tripping.
That's 10-4.
Robo
handed it to him as he walked out.
what? He supposed to hand it to him when he walked out.
Wait, he walked out?
No, it don't make sense. I don't know if he's in there now. Did he? No, it don't make sense. I don't know if he's in there now. Did he make it?
Dude, that is back door.
Yeah, we don't know.
That's why, did they go? I didn't see him go.
All right, I'm gonna move you guys over now. See